Let me make myself perfectly clear, Captain. You have 10 minutes before my business partners arrive. You can both hand over my cargo and leave without confrontation, or we will forcibly take whatever we want when they arrive, which will include your ship and all of its crew.
Cut communication.
Captain, I think I know what happened.
The Deltans were kidnapped and made slaves by the Orion Syndicate until they escaped in a pod.
Too little, too late?
We just met their kidnapper, and he's none too happy that they got away. He's got more than a dozen of his friends on their way to join the party unless we hand them over to him.
We can't do that. These people have suffered great physical and psychological damage at his hands.
If you thought, even for an instant, that I was going to turn them over, you don't know me well at all, Counselor. Give me the alternatives.
I have photon torpedoes and phaser banks locked and ready, Captain. I can do everything from disable his engines to blowing him out of the sky, depending on your preference, sir.
My preference shouldn't be discussed right now, Mr. Timoneer, but thank you.
That marauder shouldn't be able to keep up with us if we decide to make a run for it.
There are 5 scout ships in the fleet approaching, Captain. They will be able to match our speed.
On the plus side, though, they are also less weapon-heavy.
Take us to warp 9.3, away from the approaching vessels. It should give us a few extra minutes at least. Mr. Timoneer, you have the bridge, but don't fire on them unless they fire first, or I give you the word. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Connerly, Tolly, you're with me. Let's go talk to our guests again. See if they saw anything over there that can help keep us out of a firefight.
I must warn you, Captain, that these people have suffered deep emotional and psychological trauma. They probably won't be able to be much help to you. Only Vigo seems to have the fortitude right now to bear the burden and remain out of shock. The others just follow.
Knowing what we know, how bad do you think it was for them?
If I had to hazard a guess, I would say definitely torture, both physical and emotional. All 5 of them show signs of having been raped, as well as beaten.
The Orions probably grabbed them because of your people's reputation, thinking that they would make good sex slaves.
It doesn't matter what reputation someone has, Commander. It doesn't give license to rape.
That wasn't my intent at all, Counselor. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Commander. I know that's not what you were saying. It's just...
This is tough on you, Tolly. I appreciate it, and I'm sure it's done wonders for them to have a friendly face aboard.
It's hard to be looked at like you're a piece of meat. Most people can't help it. Between my people's natural beauty and the pheromones we give off, it activates that part of the brain that controls lust and desire, even among our own people. It's why we're sexually advanced. We've had a lot of practice. But advanced doesn't mean loose.
I guess with all the mystery surrounding your people's customs, it has become something of a forbidden fruit. People are told they shouldn't have it, so they want it all the more.
And that blasted celibacy oath Starfleet enforced when we first joined only fueled the fire.
That was dropped several decades ago, though.
It may not be required anymore, but people still remember it.
With all this surrounding your people, this Orion slaver figured they would be prime slaves.
Especially considering some of the base commonalities we have with the female members of his race.
The pheromones?
The pheromones.
They would probably go after the Celevians, too, if it weren't for their knack.
Their pheromones definitely give them an advantage.
As opposed to ours, which just gives us attention.
Thank you, gentlemen. Barstow, Velux, please wait out in the hallway. The rest of you can return to your normal security duties.
When I saw we went to yellow alert, I thought leaving them in the mess hall under guard would be best.
As good as anything, though we may want to assign them some quarters soon.
I think they may be staying longer than we had initially anticipated.
And we thought they might be staying in sickbay.
Well, it's my intent for them to stay as long as it takes to get them home again.
Home?
It's okay, Vigo. The 5 of you can come out now.
We are pursued by the Master's ship?
Yes, but it's okay. We'll protect you.
We can't go back to the Master's ship. We won't.
I know.
Don't worry, Vigo. Captain Avery is going to do everything in his power to keep you from...
That monster.
I may need your help to do so, though. Is there anything you remember from being aboard that ship that can help us? We're currently being chased by him, and... is there any type of weakness we can use?
I don't know.
I realize it's tough, Vigo, but anything you might remember, no matter how insignificant it may seem, might help us.
He didn't let us near anything like weapons or shield systems. I know what you're looking for. I just don't know of anything that would help.
The containment field is out of alignment.
I'm sorry, what? What did you say, Lika?
The antimatter containment field is out of alignment.
How do you know? Lika?
At one point, late at night, after we were all locked away, the Master came for Lika, took her back to the engine room.
Did you see that there was a problem while...
Yes.
She was a propulsion systems analyst before we were taken.
You didn't say anything about it to him, did you?
No.
Why not? If it fluctuates too much, it could cause the antimatter containment to fail.
Destroying the ship.
I know.
Death would have been preferable to life as a slave.
I understand. Avery, to the bridge.
Bridge here, Captain.
What's our situation?
We are pulling away from a majority of the fleet, but the scout ships are pacing us. I don't think we'll be able to outrun them, and wherever we go, they will lead the fleet to us.
Is there any sign of the cavalry?
The nearest Starfleet vessel is a day away at top speed, Captain.
And by then, the scout ships will attempt to take out our engines so the others can pounce. Don't worry, we won't let it get that far. Connerly, help Tali get these people to quarters and make sure that they're comfortable and safe. Mr. Timoneer, I'm on my way back to the bridge. I've got an idea. Adamas, I want you to plot a drop point out of warp. I want it fast so that those scout ships fly right past us.
Aye, sir.
That will work for a few seconds, but as soon as they realize what we've done, they will spin right around again.
A few seconds is all we need. When we drop out, I want us to spin right around and head back for the fleet. I want us to head right for their throat.
We're going to take the fight to them, sir.
That we are, Mr. Timoneer.
If our light is to be extinguished today, may it go with a blaze of glory.
I have no intention of being extinguished today.
Ready, Captain.
All hands brace. Engage.
Fleet is 2 minutes away and closing.
Good. Raise the Orion in the water.
Go ahead, Captain.
Hello again.
You really think you have a chance, Captain, against all of us?
Numbers mean nothing when a fool leads them.
Oh, I am so looking forward to taking your ship, Captain. I'm just debating whether I want to keep you alive long enough to see your people sold into slavery, or if I want to end your miserable existence as soon as I come aboard.
Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. You make far too many assumptions for your own good. I called to issue you one final warning. Leave us alone before you're destroyed.
You are very entertaining, Captain.
No quarter given, no quarter received. You have been warned. Iliad out.
Why did you warn him, Captain?
No matter how much of a monster he may be, I still don't take lives lightly. Ready torpedoes, Mr. Timoneer, and target his right nacelle.
If we hit his nacelle, it will just cripple his ship. It won't do anything about his cohorts.
They have a misaligned containment field.
The plasma stream from the warp engine runs through the nacelle, interrupt the stream, and cascade failure will cause the field to collapse.
In the grouping they are currently flying, the explosion from a warp breach will take out 2/3 of them.
Exactly.
What will we do about the other third?
With a little luck, they'll turn tail and run once their point man is gone. Otherwise, we'll ask for their surrender or be forced to finish the job. Personally, I hope for the former.
Entering range, Captain.
Fire.
I sometimes forget just how tragic that event turned out to be.
There were positive sides to the outcome. Vigo and the others got the help they needed once they arrived at Delta 4, in no small part to the groundwork you laid down while they were aboard the Iliad.
After the Marauder was destroyed, the surviving ships fled.
Yeah, it wasn't as large of a bloodbath as it could have been.
I know you, Avery. You're still blaming yourself for those deaths.
I've learned to live with it.
But that's just it, Admiral. You shouldn't have to live with it. You didn't do anything wrong. That Orion brought about his own death. His lust and greed left you no choice.
I know that, Counselor, but you need to remember the trait your race and mine share.
The empathic ability?
Exactly. You see, along with the ability to pick up on others' feelings, I also feel moments of great pain. When all of those people died, I felt it. I feel it every time.
Across the galaxy?
No, just those I'm close to, either by relationship or vicinity.
If that's the case, then why did you do it? Why submit yourself to that?
Because it was better than the alternative. I couldn't have lived with returning them to slavery, or even worse, seeing the rest of you enslaved.
I, for one, appreciate that. But why?
When I told them that I understood, I meant it.
You were once a slave?
No, but when my people were attacked by the Borg.
You felt it. Oh, Avery, I'm so sorry.
As I said, I've learned to live with it. I've learned to live with a lot of things. Do you still hear from Vigo?
Yes. He and Sari are married and have 2 children. The shadow of their experience still looms over their lives, but they have learned to not let it rule them.
As must we all. You know, it took me a year to work up the nerve to ask you about your...
I remember. No, I hadn't experienced anything like that. Mine is more of a internal situation. Having grown up around sex all my life, I just eventually learned that, well, unless it's something special, with someone special, it just isn't the same. And if it's not worth doing right...
It's not worth doing.
Exactly.
But enough of the past for now.
Never thought I'd hear you utter that phrase.
What do you say we track down Leia and get some dinner?
I say that sounds good. Have you ever had sardine and onion pizza?
Can't say that I have. Are you telling me that you like it?
No, can't say you could pay me to eat such a concoction, but I thought it might be interesting to ask Lee to order it, just to see the look on her face.
Then we can throw her quote back at her.
Exactly. Let's see if she truly believes that, even when it's bad, it's pretty good.
Then when we're done, should we all go ride bikes on the holodeck?
Ride bikes?
Yeah. Once you learn how to ride, you never forget. You've been listening to Star Trek Eras, Episode 6, Deltan Trade, starring, in order of appearance, Ken Halloran as Ensign Eli Goldman, Jim Caswell as Avery, Cinnamon Lee as Counselor Tolly, Marty Smythe as Lieutenant Lee Adamus, Matt Halloran as Commander Patrick Michael Connerly, Rick Steele as Lieutenant Jahos Timonir, and Eric Grieva as Dr. Savar. This presentation also debuted April Sadowski as Lieutenant Junior Grade Rasheen DeKhan. Deltan Trade also featured Christopher Anderton as crewman of the USS Paladin, James C. Taylor as Captain Gould, Paul Mitchell as Vigo, Sam Smythe as the Orion Slaver, and Louise Francis as Lika. Eras is a production of Timewell Electronic Recording Productions, with Star Trek being the property of Paramount Studios, copyright 2011. Deltan Trade was written and mixed by Jim Caswell and edited by Ken Halloran. Music was composed and produced by Matt Halloran. Additional music was composed by Jerry Goldsmith and Gustav Holtz. This has been a Twerps Online presentation.